Hello, friends. The 949th day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. Over the weekend, Russian troops advanced in the Pokrovsk direction in two of the hottest areas near Vuhledar and in Tsukuryne, located to the south. Yesterday, the military telegram channel Deep State confirmed the Russian advance southeast of Tsukuryne. But in fact, as the Ukrainian military claims, the enemy has already consolidated its position in the southern part of the village. Now it is one of the epicenters of the fighting in the Pokrovsk direction. This settlement is important for us because if the enemy manages to capture it, they will be able to expand the salient to the south of Vuhledar, which will complicate the defense of the city, writes a Ukrainian officer with the call sign Alex. The fighter Muchnoy adds that there are key heights in Tsukuryne, the loss of which will force the Ukrainian armed forces to roll back to unprepared and inconvenient positions. The Russians managed to enter the territory of an old mine located southeast of this settlement. Thus, Russian troops are trying to break through the Ukrainian line of defense in this area. Tsukuryne is squeezed by Russian units from two sides, and now the Russians are trying to encircle it from the third. And the loss of Tsukuryne creates a serious threat to Gurnik and Kurakivka, which in this case the Russian units, thus, are practically entering from the rear. Today Deep State reported on the capture of the village of Mironivka by the Russians and a wide strip to the southwest of Novogradivka. All this is in the direction of Vuhledar from the northeast. From the north of the city, Russian troops are gradually advancing westward towards the Pokrovsk-Vuhledar highway. Physically cutting this highway deprives the Ukrainian troops not only of supplies from the north, but also will not allow the Ukrainian command to maneuver here with its reserves. And thus, in tactical terms, the Pokrovsk group of the armed forces of Ukraine and Vuhledar will be isolated from each other. From the south, the Russians are focused on the exit to the Vuhledar-Kurakovy road through Novodmitrovka. And they are also moving along the railway line towards Vishnivy. Their exit to Vishnivy will physically cut this highway, which in turn will isolate the Vuhledar and Kurakovy groups of the armed forces of Ukraine in tactical terms. The Russians still need to go 4 to 5 kilometers to both highways. Ukrainian units are effectively surrounded in Vuhledar, wrote a Ukrainian serviceman with the call sign Muchnoy. According to him, the Russians are deliberately not cutting off the last route to Vuhledar, near which they are located. They are trying to break through to the north straight to the village of Bogoyavlenka, where the Ukrainian armed forces can retreat from Vuhledar. Judging by the Deep State map, Russian troops are also heading for Bogoyavlenka from the side of Vodyany. The capture of Bogoyavlenka will lead to problems along the entire Kurakovy front, writes Muchnoy. Also today, judging by everything, the commander of the 72nd Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, which is defending Vuhledar, was apparently removed from his post. This follows from a message on the brigade's Facebook page. It cites the words of Brigade Commander Vinnik, who thanks the soldiers and officers of the brigade for the common struggle and speaks of his service in the brigade in the past tense. I would also like to note that yesterday the 46th Brigade's telegram channel wrote that the only route from Vuhledar to Bogoyavlenka was controlled by enemy sabotage and reconnaissance groups. They were already using only small arms. That's it, there was no way out of the city, the 46th Brigade reported. Today, some telegram channels began writing about drones arriving in the village of Kotlubun, in the Volgograd region of Russia, where a large ammunition depot is located. At the same time, videos were circulating online, allegedly showing the aftermath of strikes on the airfield in Yeysk and Kotlubun. At the same time, the videos that telegram channels passed off as a fire at the ammunition depots in Kotlubun, in the Volgograd region, are actually footage of a fire in Dubai, filmed in 2021. Later, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine officially announced that Ukraine had hit the Kotlubun military arsenal. There is a fire and detonation of ammunition on the territory of the arsenal, the General Staff said. The statement said that a train with Iranian missiles arrived at the arsenal on the eve of the strike. In the evening, Radio Liberty, citing satellite images, reported that Ukraine had failed to hit the ammunition depot in the Volgograd region. The trace of the fire after the strike is visible next to the arsenal of the main missile and artillery directorate in Kotlubin. But the fire did not spread to the territory of the ammunition depot. Today, the enemy published footage of clashes on the western and northern outskirts of Veselui in the Kursk region. Based on this, it can be assumed that the settlement of Veselui came under our control after prolonged fighting. Friends, this channel exists solely thanks to your support. If you have the opportunity and desire to support the channel, I will be very grateful to you. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.